Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. You are watching YouTube channel of Professor Dr. Rizwan Jamil Qureshi. In my last video, I covered the main types of data modeling. I covered the logical, including the ERD and normalization, and then physical to design the database and tables and fields, and then we have external the user view, which is virtual relation that doesn't exist in the database but it's solely generated from user point of view. So we have interface designing techniques, we have hierarchical chart, we have dialogue diagramming, we have algorithm designing. Interface designing. So we have to first our design interfaces, and we have two main techniques to design our interfaces. We have command line interface and we have graphical user interface. Command line interface, we have specific tools, for example, COBOL, Pascal, structured programming tools, C, C++. These are Fortran, Pascal, these Smalltalk. They all are structured programming languages, and we use them to design our forms and reports. And then we have graphical user interface. Graphical user interface has four main components. So it's a method of interaction using forms, menus, icons, and natural language. So form is a business document that has some predefined data and some data needs to be filled by the user. Whereas we have technical definition for the form, that form is a container that contains or hosts other components. So, for example, we have registration forms, we have, for example, checkbooks, we have questionnaires, and then report. Report is a business document that's solely generated from users' point of view. For example, we have top management used to see the reports, different type of reports for their items, for their sale, for example, registration. And then we have menus. So menu is a list of commands under a single term. That is the second component of graphical user interface. And then we have icons. Icon is a graphical symbol that has specific command. So command is an instruction to the computer, as I already defined the command line interface, in which we have specific commands to interact with the computer or with the programming language. We have special syntax, specific syntax like C, C++, Java. Each programming language has its own syntax. And then each graphical symbol is not icon. If graphical symbol has specific for command, for example, my computer, command button, text box, label box, check box, option box. And the fourth component of graphical user interface is the natural language. Natural language is the conventional speaking language of the user. For example, if we are developing software for America or American client, our language will be English. If we are developing software for Germany, the user will be from the Germany, our language will be German, or like French, or in Saudi Arabia we have Arabic. China, it will be Chinese. In Pakistan, it will be Urdu. In India, it will be Hindi. So the native speaking language of the user, conventional speaking language of the user is the natural language. That's the fourth component of graphical user interface. So by using CLI or by using GUI, we will design our forms and reports. So then we have hierarchical chart. For structured development, we use hierarchical chart. For object-oriented, we don't draw hierarchical chart. So hierarchical chart is used to show the functional decomposition. We divide the main problem into smaller problems. We call them pieces, chunks, or procedures, functions, or methods. So a module is a self-sufficient part of the system. So we have, we also call them structure charts or system charts. So problem is viewed from the top to down, and like we go from top and we go up to the most linear level that we cannot further divide the problem. So if we take example of hierarchy in terms of organizational chart, like King Abdul Aziz University, we have president, and then we have vice presidents, and then we have dean, we have chairman, then faculty, we have administrative staff. So we go to the most linear level from top to down. It's as a hierarchy. So in the hierarchical chart, we take the main components and then we divide them to the most linear level that we cannot further break them down. So bigger parts are considered first. So hierarchical charts are drawn with an approach like the organizational chart. Let's take an example of organizational chart to show the functional decomposition. So we have online exam bank system, and we have administrative, faculty, and subject head, the three main users. For administrator, he has options, user option or question options. For user, he can add user, view user, delete user, or add user by campus name, add password. For question options, he can add questions, details, delete question details, view question details. So it's a part of the system to show the hierarchical chart as an example. And then we have dialogue diagramming, that how user interact with the system, that we show by using the dialogue diagramming technique. Scare box symbol is used to show the dialogue. Like an example I'm showing here, we have splash screen, we have login screen, we have main menu, we have input screens, we have output screens. And then the last technique in the design phase is the algorithm designing. So first we need to define the algorithm. The algorithm is a way of writing programs step by step in a systematic way to show the solution of the problem. So we have five main techniques, five main methods to design the algorithm. We have pseudo code, we have flowchart, we have decision tree, decision table, and NS diagram. Pseudocode is the English statements to show the step-by-step solution, whereas flowchart is a graphical symbol. Are there? So it's a graphical technique to design the solution of the problem. And then decision tree, we have branches, and the decision table, we have table to show the decisions. And NS diagram is the Nasi-Shetterman technique, and it's not widely practiced. So flowchart is the most widely used technique, which is the graphical technique to show the algorithm. So I'm only discussing the flowchart. Flowchart, we have specific symbols. For example, for input and output screens, we have this symbol. For processing, we have like a rectangle, and then we have decision, then we have a parameter or condition, start and end is there. So this is an example of flowchart. We have start, we have enter marks, and then calculate sum and average, and then we compare by using the conditions. Average is greater than 90 or 95 or 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60, and below 60 fail, for example. So display average and grade and then end. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. I will cover inshallah implementation phase techniques in the next lecture. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest videos.